I'm Christy.
And y'all, welcome to is this spoiler free?
Yes.
Okay. This is our spoiler free review of The Substance. So if you're not familiar with The Substance, it's the latest film from writer-director Coralie Fargeat. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Apologize. But it stars Margaret, is it Qualley or... maybe Qualley. I might be getting that wrong too. My bad, y'all. Demi Moore and Dennis Quaid. It's basically about Demi Moore's character. You know, she is, I don't really know her age, but she's like middle-aged, right? You know, she's not liking the fact that, you know, she's getting older. She was a big-time celebrity, and she's on the back end of her fame, you know what I'm saying? And she ends up wanting to, you know, get a taste of that youthfulness again, and then she ends up using something called the substance, which allows her to, you know, essentially have a younger version of herself, and then a bunch of craziness ensues, and we're talking about super over-the-top craziness. If you've seen the trailer, I think the trailer does offer a peek into some of that chaos, but I don't know if it goes into the depths of just how crazy this film gets. But that's the basic premise, and then we'll go ahead and dive into, you know, what we think about this film. But we're not as hot on this, so I think this will be a little interesting. So I don't know if you want me to start. Or you want to start?
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, yes, like you said, I'm not like super high with this one.
Yeah,
but I do want to say there is a lot to love about the film.
100%.
Technically, this movie is awesome. Like the shots, the composition of the shots, the way things look, the colors, the tones, the score, the sound design, just everything that she utilizes to tell the stories that she's telling here. I think technically this thing is like perfect.
Yeah.
Also the practical effects and the gore.
Special effects are amazing. The gore is crazy. Like body horror is crazy.
Yes, the body horror is insane. Food horror, I feel like that should be a thing, and if it's not, it should be.
Yeah.
But that's definitely prevalent in this one too. Like I don't like shrimp already, but after this, I don't think I ever want to look at no shrimp.
That makes eating shrimp extra nasty. Never would expect something like that.
And, you know, she definitely pulls from a lot of horror influences, like The Fly, The Shining. Just, you know, obviously she has a love for horror because you can tell from the influences. 100%. And even old school filming. Like there's this scene, for example, where she's on the phone and it's like the bottom part of her face and there's a shadow at the top, and so you can't really. It kind of reminds me like those old classic like detective shows or whatever. But yeah, so artistically, visually, this thing is awesome. And then obviously this is a very over the top exaggeration of beauty standards that are put on women in the, you know, Hollywood or even just in everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Like these are things that I personally identify with. There's one scene where she's going on a date. That whole sequence, I'm like, I feel her on that. You know, I definitely understand. And it's just extremely over the top.
Yeah.
There are some shots in here where we're stuck on certain body parts for a very long time.
A long time.
And I get that too, right? Because we focus on those things of a woman's body and stuff like that. So I absolutely get it. It just wasn't for me. Right. That's why I'm mixed on it. It's like, because I can recognize the work and the craft that was done with creating this film. Yep. It just wasn't a film that I enjoyed personally to the point where I like gonna watch this ever again in my life. And there are certain things that I don't personally like anyway. I don't like certain things in my films, period, that are really prevalent in this one. Yeah. So it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, and I think, you know, speaking to that aspect of not being like for certain people, like, because there's a lot of certain things in this movie. So there's a lot of body horror. There's a lot of nudity. And then what else? And then it's just, in general, the movie feels really long too. To add like your list of like different things.
Too. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, this movie is it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. And let me tell you something, you feel it.
Yeah.
The movie is long.
Yeah.
But all in all, I agree with you. Like, in the fact that, like, technically speaking, from like a technical aspect, the movie is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For all the reasons that you said. And I really wanted to highlight like the special effects, like the
special
gore.
effects were great.
Like the gore is amazing. Like
Yeah.
there is like some crazy looking stuff in this film. Like you said, really calls back to like that old school 80s style of filmmaking where like shit like from The Thing and stuff like that, where it's just really gross. You know what I'm saying? And it really like dives into that aspect. And I could definitely appreciate it. So it's like you said, I'm torn in the middle too, because there's aspects of this film I really like the more extreme aspects of the film.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the body horror and the creature designs and the gore and the blood, so much blood. You know
a lot
what I'm
of
saying?
blood. That's funny. I was thinking about Abigail, because we were like, oh, it's such a bloody movie, but this is an extremely bloody movie.
Yeah. But
I also really like the performances in this movie. Demi
performances
Moore is exceptional. I think she is in this one. Also, I haven't really seen her in any movie in a while, so it was good to see her back in a film. But yeah, I think that this was a really good role for her. I think she, basically embodies this character very well.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah. Because she is an actress and she is older. But yeah, so I think that this was a good role for her, but I also think she did a really good job performing it. And the younger version of herself, Sue, I thought she did good too. She doesn't have a lot of lines at all, really. She's usually like smiling or laughing.
She doesn't really say a whole lot until towards the end.
Till the end, yeah. Right. She doesn't have a lot of lines, but she plays her part well too. Yeah. But yeah, I thought the performances were good too.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the performances were good.
Even the guy on the phone that we don't ever see, I think. Because you can tell his voice.
Yeah, it matches what you would expect.
Every time he talks, like later on, he's like, "All right, y'all getting on my nerves. Y'all keep calling me about this."
But yeah, no, he matched what you'd expect. Yeah, this like potential like underground substance thing. Audio was really good too, because they made it gross. Like when they would do close-ups of like this gross, nasty stuff, all the squishiness, and texture, and just that body horror type stuff. I'm telling you, it was all excellent. So like, I love those aspects of the movie, but the runtime and then certain elements of the premise, like I get what they were trying to say, right? Like when you think about the different messaging in this movie, like you said, focusing on women's bodies, and then looking at women as more of just a sexual object or just a sexual gratification type of thing, and they're basically trying to say, women are only good until a certain age because of their features and sexualization. I think there's even a line that mentions, where the dude was mentioning like, the decline of like eggs and stuff like that. So like that's a very highlighted point. And then it's also comments about beauty and the beauty standards and appreciating your natural beauty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even as you age, appreciating the beauty in your age.
In aging.
So like I think there's some great messaging in here. It's just I think there's certain elements to the premise where I'm like, that doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I won't get into the specifics of it because I want everyone to experience and see and make revelations as they're watching it. But there's certain elements where I'm like, I get what they're saying. It's cool, but I'm like, this shit don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, for certain elements, where it's almost like you gotta let it happen because this is the only way it can happen to let everything play out. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, there are a couple of instances like that. But also in regards to the runtime, there are a few moments that go on for too long, and they don't move the story along or add to the story in any way. So those instances could have just been cut out or shaved out.
All that to say, I can understand the high rating for this film.
Yes,
I can absolutely understand that.
Yeah.
But I think just for me, for me and my taste, those specific elements kept it from being great. If you follow our channel, then we never bandwagon on stuff. We tell you exactly how we feel about something, and we give you our honest and why, and give you our honest rating. You know what I'm saying? So, don't become for us in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Because I think I feel like there's some other films that people felt like weren't as good.
Yeah.
Maybe not on a wider plane. I know when we did the Late Night with the Devil review, I remember us getting a lot of comments where like, this ain't that good. But at least for me, I was like, this movie's amazing. You know what I'm saying? So like, I understand, you know what I mean? I think that might be this movie for us. When people be like, this movie was amazing. You think it was amazing? Nah, you know, it didn't work for me the same way it might have worked for you.
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's okay.
Yeah. But I do think that this one is a good one to watch in the theater because of like those elements, like the sound and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just so you can experience that because it's crazy.
Yeah, because especially when it gets into super over the top ridiculous mode.
Yeah.
And you hear you and the rest of the audience are like, damn, like, or oh my God.
Yeah,
you know
that part.
Like,
yeah.
Like you could
theater reactions are really good.
We were all audibly like, this shit is crazy.
And it's
fun
crazy.
when it gets that crazy.
That
it's fun.
last like 20 minutes is so insane.
Yeah, the last 20, 30 minutes might be the craziest shit from this year. Now, we ain't seen Terrifier 3 yet.
We haven't seen Terrifier 3
But I can say,
yet.
as of right now, that last 20, 30 minutes is the craziest shit
crazy.
from horror that I've seen so far this year. Because it is crazy.
It is crazy.
Like, so over the top. And even when you think it's over, like, it just keeps...
It doesn't.
It keeps going.
Yeah, I thought it was going to end at one point.
Yeah.
And then they were like...
It
nope,
keeps going.
We about to keep this rolling one more time, y'all.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it was crazy. It just, like I said, it just wasn't my vibe. It's not my taste. Yeah.
But hey, look, shout out to Coralie for the technical aspect. Because some of those shots were dope. Like the opening sequence and then how it kind of wraps back around to the ending and all that stuff. Like,
that was genius.
And man, I'm talking about like creatively, like off the charts dope. Mm-hmm. But just the whole package, like it's cool, it's good, but it's not. We ain't bandwagoning on the masterpiece bandwagon, and I just can't do it. Can't get on board with that.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I mean, at least you're keeping it real though.
Yeah.
But rating, you know what we do? If you're new to our channel, we do our ratings out of 5.
Yes.
What would you give this movie out of 5?
3.5.
I agree 100%. I was gonna go 3.5 too. I think when we talked about this last night after we watched it, I think that's kind of where I was. Because I do think it's better than an average film. I would see like 2.5 to 3 being average.
Yeah.
3.5 I think is a good movie. So I think this is where it sits for me. And a lot of it is from that creative concept and the technicality.
Originality.
And originality,
I think this is super original.
Very original.
And I got to give her, props for that because this is super original. Like, the heck?
Yeah, I agree.
Great story. Yeah,
I agree. All in all, I can see why a lot of people like this film. I would say go support this. Go check it out. Go to theaters.
I agree.
I think this is definitely worth it. Don't wait for streaming. Go watch it right now type of situation. And I guarantee you'll probably, at the very least, enjoy your experience. Even if you don't think the movie is amazing.
Yeah.
Or, you will have a good time. This is a fun movie. It's a good time in the theater. Go support this one. Just like with other, smaller, projects of the same nature. Because I assume this falls into the independent film category, right? Yeah. But yeah, y'all, 3.5 out of 5 for us. That's what we think. That is our spoiler-free review of The Substance. Let us know down in the comments if you've seen The Substance. What did you think about it? Like I said, don't be coming for us in the comments like that. We're giving you our real opinion over here. But if you thought it was a masterpiece, if you thought it was amazing, let us know in the comments why. Or maybe you didn't like this movie at all, which is always possible. Let us know that reasoning as well. We'd love to discuss that with y'all down in the comments. We appreciate any likes you put on this video. Thank you so much for tuning into the whole thing. Hit subscribe to stay tuned in to all things horror over here. We recently did our from season 3 episode 1 reaction and review. Go check that out if you're a fan of the show. We got more reviews coming because we've been tuned in to Fantastic Fest. There's a lot of films coming out for the rest of September and October. We're doing reviews on a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is coming. It's a great time to subscribe right now, y'all. It is spooky season. We're coming up on the eve of spooky season.
It's officially fall now.
Yeah, so this is a perfect time to subscribe to our channel, y'all, and check out all the dope content we already have and that we have coming. Again, we appreciate y'all support. Y'all have a good one. We out. Peace.